Hey everybody, this is Nature Nate, and today I want to talk to you about my favorite knife for versatility for many uses, and that is this Benchmade Nimravus 140 BK. So first I'll just kind of show you the sheath. It's this is technically a tactical knife, but I find it incredible for uses in the backcountry. For this is my everything knife, literally. If I'm camping, backpacking, and I'm not going super ultra lightweight, and I need a knife for whatever I'm up to, this is the knife I carry. So it's got the sheath in itself. It's got like this Velcro belt loop. That's really handy. It's got this other plastic loop. You could lose that if you're trying to save a little bit of weight. The plastic loop is cool. You can loop it through your belt and stuff too. And actually sometimes I'll loop it like this so it's hanging down off of my waist instead of the standard use. And that's just like a quicker draw if you need it. Not, you know, what are you in a knife throwing contest? I don't know. But it does work like that. However, I will say you can pull this tab and actually pull this little loop out. That's kind of tricky, even after I've had this for a long time. This is the second one I've had. Beaten the heck out of both of them. They still hold up. The first one I lost, so it was so good I bought a second. These are not the cheapest knives. They retail on the Benchmade website was $210, but you can find them for $170 on various knife websites. So they are on sale here and there. So let me talk about some other parts of the knife. It's a 154 cm steel. Let's open it up so you can see. Oh, and releasing this knife is really easy. You just pull, there you go, really easy. So here's the blade itself. Let me make sure to keep this sheath out of the snow. So it's a 154 cm steel, and I really like 154 cm personally because it holds a really sharp edge, and it's a little bit of a softer steel, which a lot of people like hard steels. I like a softer steel because, one, it's really easy to sharpen. It's kind of like this. It dulls more quickly, but it's easier to sharpen. And then one thing about a softer steel, it doesn't like chip as much. So even if you do nick the blade on something you weren't intending, it doesn't really chip quite as much. So if that happens, especially in the backcountry, you don't have to sit there and sharpen it all the way down to that chip. It just kind of bends the steel. So it's easier to work in a backcountry setting, in my opinion. Hard steels are better for other uses too, but as far as I'm concerned, I really like this as a softer steel. And again, it's not the softest steel there is, but it is on the softer side. So it will dull with certain use, but it's really easy to sharpen. And as you can see, I've used this knife a ton. This knife used to be all blacked out, and you can tell most of that's gone on the blade. That's from batoning. I've batoned with this knife so much, and it really hasn't damaged it at all. It's held up to all that beating. So there you go. It's a 4.5-inch blade. It's got an aluminum handle. The weight's a little handle heavy. I don't want to drop it in the snow, so I'm not going to totally. It's a little handle heavy though. There you go. So if you can see, yeah. So it's just, you know, if you know the weight, how you like your knives weighted, this is a little bit heavy on the handle. The whole overall length is 9.5 inches, and it's a great little knife. So I'm going to continue to talk about it in a few other ways. Oh, actually, one little feature too. See how it's got the little grommet hole there for cordage? This is also a little trick that you won't hear anywhere else probably. It's great for a bottle opener. If you can open a bottle with like a lighter or something, and you know that technique, this little part right here is perfect. So easy to pop a bottle. I wish I had one to show you, but anyway, secondary use, not an intended use, but it works really well that as a bottle opener, and it doesn't impact the knife. I mean, I've popped lots of bottles with this guy, and let's get it to try to focus, and it literally has not damaged that portion at all. So anyway, there you have it. So let's just talk about my experience with this knife. Again, I've used it for tons of batoning, but here's the cool thing. You can baton with this knife, you can build whatever you need to. I use it for, a lot of the time I don't bring utensils out in the woods. I just make them out of sticks and stuff. And this is great for whittling, sharp enough for that. It can take the abuse of batoning, and then also you can prepare your dinner with it. It's great for a cooking knife too. It's got a thin enough profile that it actually cuts food really well. So even like sweet potatoes and stuff, they're a little more difficult to cut. It's not a chef's knife, okay, but it works pretty dang well compared to most like bushcraft knives or something. So this is, for me, this is like an everything knife. I can do all the different uses you might need for your knife with this one knife. And it weighs 6.2 ounces, so it is on the lighter side with the sheath included. That adds another couple ounces. So compared to other bushcraft knives, it's pretty light. And truthfully, what are you doing with your knife that you need a 1/4 inch thick, massive blade? Like, I don't know. Again, I truly do a lot of this bushcraft kind of stuff, whatever you want to call it. I truly do a lot of batoning. I do a lot of whittling, and this knife is held up just fine. I don't need the big, massive, 16-ounce knife or whatever to accomplish those things. This works just fine. I'll even do a little demonstration for you. I picked this little spot. There's so much snow, but there happens to be one little area I can do some of that work. So I'll just do a quick demonstration of some batoning. It's not going to be anything substantial, but it'll at least give you an idea of what's going on with this thing. So let me put this in the sheath. Oh, the sheath is directional, so you do have to insert the knife a specific way, but it holds it really nicely, and I believe it's like Kevlar on the inside, so it protects your blade really well. It's well thought out. Benchmade makes awesome stuff, and yeah, can't speak highly enough about Benchmade. And again, that 154 cm steel is really nice in my opinion. So let's see what I can wrangle up out here in the woods. Here's this. That's a good thing to baton. That'll show you what's going on. And then I need a little beater stick. Maybe I can just pull another one of these off. There we go. Cool. And I've got this saw. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit since I've got it. And I'm going to do it on this log over here to show you all. Okay. So there's the stick. Don't need that saw anymore. And this is going to be a little goofy because I'm here in my skis, so I'm going to have to contort myself a little bit to make this happen. There we go. Okay, so I'll just baton. This is just a pretty thin piece. Super simple. I'm not working this knife much. I baton 4-inch diameter stuff with this little knife, and it does work. So I'll just go ahead and show you. Super simple. There you go. Make your kindling, make your little spoons or whatever. I do a lot of both of that with this little knife. Awesome. Super great for batoning. Let me see if I can do this bigger guy. Let's see what we got here. Ah, perfect. Look at that. Just what I need. Do this bigger stick to show you. It really works for batoning, everybody. And batoning's a great technique. This is why I don't bring a hatchet. Look, it takes a little bit longer, but you can be a lot more intentional with how you split it with the batoning technique. And it's limited basically when there's knots. So this has a little knot. That's going to impact how it batons. It's really hard to baton around knots. You can do it, but usually you just work around it. And yeah, and again, look, I'm batoning on a slick log in the snow, and it's still working just fine. If I was actually building a shelter, I would pick perhaps a better sight, or I would you know, manipulate my surroundings to work for me. But again, just to show you all what's going on with this, there you go. That works just fine, and no damage to the knife. As I showed you earlier, I've batoned a ton with this knife. I've removed all the finish, that black finish from it, just about, and I can still do my culinary activities with it even after beating the heck out of it that much. And I'm gonna try to get it to focus again on kind of the top portion of the blade. That's gonna be a hard one. It's hard to tell, but basically this portion here has received no damage, even though I've pounded on it with sticks like crazy for batoning purposes. So anyway, just goes to show how durable it is. What are some other things? Let's talk about the fit of the hand. So it's got this little finger cut out here. It's got the finger guard as well. You know, not overdone, but it's enough. It's enough to keep you safe, and it's not overdone for looks or for whatever. This is the knife. And then it's got that jimping on the top. The jimping's really aggressive, so that's nice if you're whittling or really putting this knife to use and you need that extra leverage with your thumb there. It's got a great place for it, and it really holds your thumb tight. So those two things right there makes it a really nice fit, and just overall it feels great in the hand. And again, this is technically a tactical knife. I'm sure it's great for that too. I have not done it myself, but thankfully. And but you know, I have skinned things with it. It works great for that too. You can make this a really sharp knife, and it holds an edge pretty dang well. Again, didn't dull it out at all batoning, still razor sharp. But like, let's say you nicked a rock or something, again, it's not gonna chip the blade and make it really hard to sharpen back up. It's actually a lot easier with that soft steel to recover a blade. A lot of the time it kind of just bends the steel, and sometimes you can even save that steel and not have to do a full-on remodel of the edge, basically. So anyway, here's the Benchmark Nimravus 140 BK, my favorite knife in the backcountry as far as for multi-use. I thank you all for watching. This is Nature Nate, and hopefully this review has been helpful. Thanks.